What the fuck moments of JoJo's bizarre adventure. So for all the praise I give the manga, even I found some moments which made me confused, and even rereading all the manga, the same moments stuck out. And so here's a list of what the fuck moments that stuck out for me. But first I'll explain what a what the fuck moment is in JoJo to me. Since it is JoJo we're talking about, I can't say everything is a WTF. So for me, it's something that takes me out of the story and distracts me from what I'm reading. So example, I don't include stuff from part 1 and 2 because for me, stuff like Jack the Ripper and a cyborg Nazi fit into part 1 and 2. So really my list starts from part 3. So in part 3 I have a number of WTF moments. Firstly, Jotaro's father. Who is he? All we know is that he is a famous jazz singer and his name is Saido Kujo, and I had to Wikipedia that. He is only mentioned in the first few pages and that's it. He doesn't even appear at all in the manga, and even George Joestar II had half a chapter. But also, he doesn't even come to his dying wife's bedside. I didn't even see the point of mentioning him, and let alone saying he is a jazz singer. The runaway girl, she does nothing but keep popping up all the time. And how? These guys are on a race to Dio, but somehow this girl keeps finding them. Maybe this explains why even Stan users can find these guys all the time. Next, Abdul's death and re-death. They should have just left him dead, but they have to bring him back in a pointless chapter while he's pretending to be his own father. To this point, Hirohiko didn't bring a character back from the dead, but why did they have to do it in such a bad way, just to kill him off again? And lastly, I would also mention Star Platinum. It's not bad, but it's just uncreative ending up him having the same powers as the world, since in later stories Stans get more creative to defeat the antagonist. Part 4 has only one that sticks out for me. The light-hearted style of this story makes it more forgiving, but the oddest moment of the story is for me when Josuke fights the man in the tower. He taps Josuke in Superfly, so when he is about to flee, he reveals that he's been wearing a mask so no one could find him. But the problem is, from that point on, it clearly looks like a mask. Why? His face looked like a face a little while ago, so why after he says it, it's a mask, it's clearly a mask. It's just really weird moment for me. Part 5, again, being light-hearted makes it more forgiving, but still the biggest thing that stands out for me is Zombie Bruno. I get confused by the constant reiteration that Bruno has no pulse, is cold, and that he does not bleed. I mean, I get it, he is dead. But also, why isn't he dead? Why is he a zombie? Does he have a purpose that he must do before he could pass away peacefully? And then the sleeping slaves chapter that was meant to be an explanation, I think. I don't get why he is a zombie and how he survived. Jotaro made it quite clear to Josuke is that when you die, you die, and no Stan can bring you back. Also, I'll quickly mention Purple Haze. Yeah, I think Hirohiko Araki was unimaginative by cutting him out of the story. I mean, he could have been creative ways to use Purple Haze so his power wouldn't be so overwhelming. But I just think it's crap cutting him out, because again, Purple Haze looks awesome. Part 6 seems to have the most WTF moments for me. At first, Whitesnake had some ooze power that could make Jolene go into a deep sleep and make her melt. But this power is never mentioned again. Why the hell could he do that in the first place? Anasu was totally a woman. Look, that is a woman. But then, bam, she turns into a man. No, you drew boobs. Anasu was a woman. What the hell is the green child? A bone from Dio can turn people into trees, then turn into a baby, which already has a stand, and then after saying some random words, it eats Poochie to give him amazing powers. And the reason for this is never explained. Why does a bone do any of that? What is the green child? Animal, mineral, vegetable? It just really confuses me. Okay, now for possibly the biggest one that sticks out. I know this one might get past a few people. Okay, if you remember, the third child of Dio. He explains that he had bad luck since he was young, and that one time a pair of shoes fell from the sky and hit him. But then when he went walking around in them, they arrested him because they belonged to a famous guy, so he was falsely accused and was arrested. That's the same backstory written in 1998 novel Holes, which is also made into a Disney film by the same name. So it seems Hirohiko stole a backstory. This shocks me since he's great at coming up with backstories, but this is from the very popular kids book. This one still bothers me so much. So now part 7. Okay, so the biggest one for me is Johnny's backstory, for the sole reason it's trying to be a big callback to Phantom Blood. First he reveals his name as Jonathan, which pisses me off because Johnny was meant to be a new Joestar for us, and so now it's just an alternative version of Jonathan. Also, we get an alternative version of Danny, which is now a mouse, which he has only had known for a few days or so, and is sad when he must go. Danny was Jonathan's childhood friend, saved his life, and helped him get over his mother's death. And this is just a mouse. A mouse cannot be compared to a dog. But by far the biggest WTF is Nicholas Joestar, the first ever Joestar sibling, and they do nothing with him. That could have been part 7 right there, the brothers Joestar. But no, they kill him off and don't even make him a cool character with a JoJo related name. Biggest disappointment ever. So that's my list, and admittedly I've probably forgotten a few by the time I started this review and finished it. So hit me with some of your WTF moments, and I might, if I remember, I'll comment them at the bottom of the video. So yeah, I hope to hear from you soon, and enjoy.